Okay. Let's go live on Instagram. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I'm going to move my mic a little bit closer to me. I'm going to give the algorithm just a little bit of time to kick in. Let me start recording. All right. So I have had to learn how to adjust the audio settings so that there wasn't so much of a lag. So if you are hearing a lag on this, I apologize. I am slowly mastering the art of all this streaming software and how to get it so that there isn't a lag between the audio and the video. So I'm hoping that it's coming through clear. If you can hear me okay, just give me a quick thumbs up. Let me know that you can hear me fine. That would be fantastic. Hopefully the lag isn't there anymore. In a perfect world, I would love for the lag to be completely gone, but I think there might be a little bit of a lag. So if you can hear me fine, a quick thumbs up would be fantastic. I would appreciate that. We're going to get started in a little bit, and today, we're going to cover the top 5 things that you need to avoid when you're going after your first deal, okay? So, for some of you who are veterans at this and you've been doing this a while, this might seem rudimentary, or you might be interested in just hearing my spin on it, my take on what a brand new person should be avoiding when they are just getting started in this business as a real estate investor / wholesaler. Now, if you've heard me speak already, you understand, or you should know that my position is we are a real estate investor first, and wholesaling just happens to be one of our exit strategies. Now, I know that seems a little counterintuitive because throughout the postings, we're talking about being a wholesaler and wholesalers and how to wholesale a house and how to wholesale real estate. And the reason that I use that term is because that's what everybody's familiar with, right? But the fact is, I really want us to get more accustomed to calling ourselves investors who happen to use wholesaling as an exit strategy, okay? So I'm assuming that the sound is coming in through fine. If the sound is coming in through great, please give me a thumbs up. We'll sit tight just a little longer for people to get their notifications and to find out that I am online. As I've said before, I am going to be going live a minimum of once per day in bite-sized chunks. It should never last any more than 20, maybe 30 minutes on how to do this business, on how to be successful at it, on how to scale this business. And so typically they'll be in the mornings, anywhere between 9 to about 11 o'clock, depending on what my schedule is like. And then in the evenings, if I have a break, I'm going to hop back on and I'm going to do the exact same thing. Okay. Funny fact, I'm always coming up with a bunch of little ideas on the backgrounds that I use. So today, the theme is going to be tiki themed. I'm a big fan of tiki mugs and tiki cups. And I love tiki bars, going to tiki bars. So if anybody knows of if you have a really good tiki bar or tiki restaurant, themed restaurant in your city or your town, please let me know about it. I love visiting new towns and trying these new restaurants out. That's one of the things that I really love to do. So if by chance you catch me glancing up, it is because I have a vertical screen and it is showing me all the comments on all of the streaming platforms that I see coming in. And it also gives me a chance to see, just to check on what's happening with the actual streaming process. So forgive me for that if I'm not always making complete eye contact with you. Here's another thing. A lot of people don't know this, but I am actually blind in my left eye. And so it's my right eye that is making eye contact with you, not my left eye. So trust me, I'm looking at you, but sometimes the left eye tends to drift off a little bit. I've been blind in that eye since I was the age of 4. But that never stopped Biggie, and it's not going to stop me. All right. Anyway, he's one of my favorite rappers. Okay, so it is currently, what time is it right now? It is 10:39. I'll sit tight for 2 to 3 more minutes just to let it kick in, and then we're going to get into the top 5 things you need to avoid in order to get your first deal. All right, that elusive first deal. Getting the first deal is the hardest part. I am getting calls coming in right now. Forgive me for that. I will try to put myself on Do Not Disturb. Should have done that earlier. This is wonderful. This is the power of live. All right, let me put myself on Do Not Disturb, and we will get started. Bear with me 1 second. Do Not Disturb on. Okay, let's get started. The top 5 things you need to avoid in order to get your first deal. Number 1. I love it when that happens. Not taking action. When I say not taking action, here's something that I see a lot of people do. When they get involved in this business, they tend to watch a lot of videos. They want to see a lot of videos. They want to see the success stories. They want to see the checks. They want to see the closing statements, the settlement statements, the HUDs. They want to see people walk them through their fix and flips so they could see what it looked like before and see what it looked like after. They want to see them at the, or I should say you want to see people at the closing table, at the title companies, walking out with their checks, people posting their wires, people posting their success stories. Everybody wants to see chapter 10, but nobody really wants to pay attention to their chapter 1. And so they're focusing on the results, the end results of what took place, but they're not focusing too much on the action because the action isn't sexy. What we do isn't that sexy. It's not that attractive. We are talking to sellers and buyers all day long. We are going through rejection all day long. That is a part of what we do. We get told no more times than we get told yes throughout the day. Nobody really wants to focus on that part. What they want to focus on is on the wins. They want to focus on what happens when we win, which is fine. I understand that. I appreciate that. That's human nature. So what tends to happen is they don't want to focus on the content that preaches taking action. They don't want to focus on the content that actually talks about what it is that we do. What we do is we talk to people. Okay, and when I say talk to people, people tend to get confused, and you start to think that what I'm saying is you need to get on the phone, you need to cold call, and that's not the message that I'm sending here. When I say you need to talk to people, really what I'm saying is you need to communicate with people in whatever format you want to communicate with them in. So you can use cold calling if you'd like, you can use SMS marketing if you'd like, you can use direct messaging and using chatbots if you'd like, you can use email if you would like, you can use pay per lead if you would like, you can use pay per click if you would like. You can, whatever format it is that you want to use in order to make contact with people, then that's the format that you're going to use. You need to make contact with more people. This is a contact sport. And so if you're not taking action and if you're not talking to enough people, you're not going to have success and you're not going to get that first deal. Now, I talked about this last week, but I'm going to talk about it again. There are typically 2 phases that somebody finds themselves in this business. And the first phase is what I like to call ignorance on fire. They don't know what they don't know. They just know that they're excited about being in this business. They're excited about the possibility of earning $15, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 assignment fees. They're excited about the possibility of changing their lives. They're excited about the possibility of being able to make in 1 week what they would make all year on an assignment fee. That excites them. And so when you're brand new, what happens is that people get in this business and then they just go out there and they just start talking to people. And it's natural. It's just natural enthusiasm. It's just natural excitement. It's what comes out of them in the beginning because they're brand new. That is what you call ignorance on fire. They don't know what they don't know. They don't know the contracts. They don't know the ins and outs of the business. They don't understand it, but what they're doing is way more powerful than any of that. What they're doing is they're going out there and they're just talking to people. They're going out there and they're posting social media reels. They're going out there and they're just telling all of their friends, hey, listen, I just learned about this process called wholesaling real estate. I just learned about how to invest in real estate using wholesaling, and I'm super excited about it. I don't know anything about it, but I need to find these ugly houses. Do you have any ugly houses? Do you know of any ugly houses? And then their RAS starts to kick in, and then what happens is as they're driving around town, they start to see houses that could qualify as potential fix and flips opportunities, that could qualify as opportunities that they could bring to other investors. And so they start writing those addresses down and they start to take action just based on pure enthusiasm, based on pure excitement, based on pure ignorance on fire. They don't even know what they're doing. They're just excited and they're talking to a lot of people. And what happens? That enthusiasm is contagious and it kicks in, and then they get a deal. They get a deal under contract, right? They finally get a deal under contract. It happens, and maybe the deal ends up closing, and then they get paid, and now they're a believer. They're a believer. But phase 2 kicks in. What happens is now they're thinking to themselves, this was too easy. So I must have missed something somewhere. And now I need to learn what I didn't know before. Now I need to study the contracts. Now I need to make sure I know all the laws. Now I need to make sure that I follow all the rules so that I don't go out there and do something wrong and put myself in harm's way legally. Now I want to make sure that that I have systems in place. And all of a sudden, what got them that first deal, which was their ignorance on fire, their enthusiasm, their excitement to go out there and just talk to people about what it was that they were doing, all of a sudden now it shifts to now they need to understand the process and they want to understand how the business works, forgetting what got them the business in the first place, which was them just going out there, taking action and talking to people. That second phase is what I like to call intelligence on ice. So they went from ignorance on fire, not understanding what's going on, but they're excited and they're going out and they're talking to people and they find a contract, they find a deal, they find an opportunity, they have a joint venture partner or they have a mentor that's walking them through the process, right? So that they're not just doing it by themselves. They have someone that is helping them, but ignorance on fire with a mentor, with a JV partner, and then that shifts to now I closed the deal. Now I need to learn this business. Now I need to know what it was that I was doing when they don't realize that what they were doing was just going out there and taking action and being excited. And then they don't close the deal for like 3 to 4 months and they're wondering to themselves, what went wrong? Why is this business not working for me? When all they have to do is just go back to really what they were doing at the very beginning, which was just going out there and talking to people. So one of the biggest mistakes that new people make is that they forget that the basics of this business is just going out there and making contact with people, being enthusiastic, being excited, talking to people about what it is that you're doing. You're looking for investment opportunities. You're looking for homes that you can add value to. You're looking for homes that you can fix and flip. You're looking for homes that are in distress. Those are your favorite types of property because you want to bring value to the seller, right? And when you keep that conversation going over and over and over and over again, you'd be surprised at how the stars align and people will start to help you and they'll start to refer you, other business or other opportunities just because you're excited, as opposed to saying, hey, I know every contract from all 50 states. I know all the laws in all 50 states, but I haven't closed a deal in 2 years and I'm not making any money. So number one, the big mistake that most people make when they're brand new en route to getting their first deal is not taking enough action. Number two, not working daily, okay? That is another big mistake that people make when they are brand new, okay? They get excited one day and they work one day for an hour, 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, maybe 4 hours. They go out there and they do driving for dollars for 2 hours. They come back, they're scouring Facebook Marketplace for opportunities for an hour. They're hitting the phones for another 45 minutes. They've worked this business for 4 hours, but then the next day, they don't see any true results that one day. They get a little discouraged, and then the next day they're starting to wonder if this thing is going to work. So they don't put as much effort in the second day. Now they're working maybe an hour, maybe hour and a half. Then they really don't see any true results that second day. Then the third day, it's all of a sudden half hour. Fourth day, they need a day off. Fourth day, they're not feeling too good. They're a little tired. They still got to go to their 9 to 5. I don't know if this is really going to work. By the fifth day, they're no longer working the business. Second week, they're not even touching this. And then they start to wonder why it doesn't work. And it's really just because they're not working at this on a regular basis. It's no different than the gym. If you don't go to the gym on a regular basis, you are not going to see any results. You go to the gym day one, you work out, even if you work out for 2 hours on day one. When you go home, you're not going to see any results. You're not going to see anything. Day two, you're going to work out. Maybe it's an hour, maybe it's 2. You still don't see anything. Day 3, you may be sore. You might feel sore, but you don't see any true results. But if you consistently do that for 4 days a week, an hour to 2 hours a day, 4 days a week over the course of 4 to 6 months, tell me that you don't see a difference. Tell me you don't. Of course you do. And of course you will. And of course you not only have experienced it for yourself, for those of you who have gone through that, but you've seen other people that have gone through the exact same thing. And all it was their consistency and commitment to doing that on a daily basis or 4 times a week minimum, going there for an hour to 2 hours. This business is no different, guys. It's no different. It's the exact same thing. Day 1, you're not going to see any true results. Day 2, you're probably not going to see any true results. Week 1, you probably won't see any true results, okay? You may get a lead. You may get someone that says, I'm possibly interested, right? But you may not see complete immediate results. 2 weeks in, you might start to see some results. 3 weeks in, you might have some leads now. You might have like 3 or 4 leads that you need to follow up with on a daily basis. A month in, you might have a person that's like right on the fence to signing a contract, and you slowly start to see the results. It's like compounding interest as you work. The harder you work, the more this will pay you back. But most people can't commit to that, even if it's just an hour a day. So if you can't commit to doing this a little bit every day for the next 90 days minimum, really it should be longer, then what you're doing is you're doing a disservice to yourself, and you're doing a disservice to your dreams, and you're doing a disservice to your family, and you're doing a disservice to the person that needs to hear your story. There is somebody out there that needs to hear your story, because you know what? They're on the verge of quitting whatever it is that they're quitting, and your success story is actually going to be the tipping point. It's going to be that one comment, that one story that they hear from you where you are right on the verge of saying, I'm going to quit. This doesn't work. That's going to prompt them to keep moving forward on whatever it is. I don't care if it's real estate or something else, but your story is designed to go help somebody else, right? So you need to work on this on a daily basis. You owe it to you, you owe it to your family, and you owe it to that other person that's waiting to hear your story. All right, I'm going to end it on that. Now, focusing on one thing. All right, this is important too. So here's what I see. There's a great book called The Power of One. Okay, it's a real estate book, and it's really, really good. I'll plug my book a little bit later on. But the point is that most people get in this business and then they get scatterbrained. Okay, because there are so many different ways to do this business. So many different ways to do this business, okay? There's a variety of different strategies. I talked about them earlier. There's cold calling. There's hiring cold calling. There's SMS marketing, which is text message marketing. There's email marketing, right? There's cold email marketing. There's LOI blasting, which is sending out letters of intent en masse, right? There's sending out offers en masse via email. There's door knocking. Okay, there's pre-foreclosures, there's divorces, there's probates, there's fix-it. I mean, there's so many different ways to tackle this business. And so for a brand new person, what ends up happening is they see all these different options, they see all these different strategies, they see all these different ways to skin this cat, that they become overstimulated, and they tend to just like get confused. Confused people do nothing. So while you might have 10 different ways to attack and to approach this business, I just want you to pick one. Pick one. Whichever one that you want to pick, okay? Whichever one you feel most comfortable with. Now, it just so happens that for me, I was comfortable being on the phones. That's what I had done my whole career as a real estate agent and as a real estate broker. I was on the phones. I could sit there and I could be on the phones and I could pound out 200 to 300 calls in about 3 to 4 hours manually, not with a dialer, manually, just sitting there, punching the phones, holding the receiver. And back then we had these weird apparatuses that would actually rest the receiver on your shoulders, and you would just dial. I could do that. I could do that for 3 to 4 hours, no breaks. Give me the phone book, give me the numbers, and I'm going to get to work. That was one thing that was my superpower back then, okay? Now, these days, there's a bunch of different things you can do. You can do the cold calling. You can do all the marketing strategies that I talked about. But whichever one you feel most comfortable with, that's the one that I want you to pick. And that's the one that I want you to stick to. And that's the one that I want you to master. And that's the one that I want you to commit to for a minimum of 90 days. Commit to it. Commit to it for 90 days minimum before you start saying that it doesn't work. Before you start saying that you want to try something else. Commit to it and then master it, right? Write it till the wheels fall off. You become so good at that one strategy that you can then teach other people how to do it. All right? Whatever that strategy is. And you're just going to pick one, and then you're going to attack it. And you're going to do it every day, every day, every day. And you'd be surprised how you become so proficient at it that eventually you can then start to delegate that, and then you can add on a new strategy to your arsenal. And then you have 2 strategies working for you. But you can't do that until you've mastered one. So pick one, whichever one you want, and then just go after it. Now, that being said, same thing applies to the market. Okay, same thing applies to the market that you're going after. I see people one day they're working this market, this city, and then they're working in another city, and then they're working in another city, and then they're working in another state, and then they're working in another county, and then they're working this area, and then they're working that areas, and today they want to do Airbnbs, and all of a sudden they want to do Section 8s, and stop that. Okay, just stop it. Pick a market and attack it. Now, there's going to be some people that are going to go out there online and they're going to voice their opinions about which markets are saturated and which markets aren't going to work for this and which markets you should avoid. And some of you are listening to this and you're thinking to yourself, wait a minute, that person who's a veteran of this, who's obviously very successful at it, is telling me that I shouldn't do this business in my own backyard. I should go work somewhere else. Look, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Your backyard is always going to be one of your primary markets, and it's going to be one of the best markets for you to work in. You just have to become an expert in it, and you just have to understand the rules, and you just have to understand how to make it work in that market. And if it's very, very competitive, that's a good thing, right? If you've got a bunch of investors and everybody out there trying to get into that market, what that tells you is that there's a reason people want to get into that market. There's money in that market. Focus on that market. Make your backyard typically, unless... okay, I'm going to put a little asterisk there. Unless you live in a rural area where there is very little activity and there's very little turnover and there's very little investor activity and you don't see that many sales, in that case, you have no choice. You're going to have to work this market. You're going to have to work it virtually, this business virtually. You have no choice. You want to be where the action is. You want to be where the competition is, because what that tells you is that, you know, there's business there. All right, now let's just touch on that for 1 second. So Paul, what you're telling me is that you want me to go where there's too much competition. And let me break it down to you, okay? We are all fishing in the same pond. We are all fishing in the same streams. We are all fishing in the same lakes. We are all fishing in the same oceans. We are all fishing in the same bathtubs, right? We are all fishing in the same areas. Your leads are my leads are your leads. And here's the thing. There is going to be some business that is designated and is going to only go to you and nobody else, okay? Nobody else is going to be able to capture that business. There's going to be some people that are going to relate to you and only you. And it doesn't matter how good of a closer I am. It doesn't matter how snazzy, now I'm aging myself but based on what I'm saying, how snazzy my fit is. I'm trying to recover from it a little bit. It doesn't matter what I look like. Those people will relate to you and they're going to give you their business just because they know you, they like you, they trust you, and they can relate to who you are. There's going to be some people that will never give me their business just because I look like some guy that broke their daughter's heart in high school, and they get the ick just by looking at me. See, I used another one that my daughter taught me, that one, the ick, right? Yeah. Anyway, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. There's going to be some people that just relate to you, and they're going to relate to you, but they're never going to know about you if you're not going out there taking action and talking to other people. So make sure that you do that, all right? Next slide. You're not being loud enough, okay? This is another thing that I see a lot of new people do, okay? They're intimidated about going out there, or they're too scared to go out there and talk to people because they're afraid of what they're going to look like, right? They've tried other things. It didn't work out for them. They don't want their friends or their family making fun of them. They want to have some type of success before they go out there and talk to their friends or family. So what ends up happening is they decide that they're going to be secretive about it. They're going to be a ninja investor. They're going to be a ninja wholesaler. They're going to do it, and they can't wait to go tell their friends and their family about this, but they want to wait till they have some type of success. They want to wait till they've made some kind of money before they go and they show them that this thing works. And here's the thing. It's backwards, okay? You will be more successful when you have a raving base of fans who are going to help you promote your business, right? So while you're going out there, if you continue to keep using your phone and just, hey, it's me, listen, I just want to let you know that I'm looking for ugly houses, and you film yourself and you share it and you share it and you do this over and over and over and over again, eventually what will start to happen is your friends, your family, other people will start to refer that business to you. If you're asking for the business will come to you, but a closed mouth doesn't get fed. So you have to, on a consistent basis, be asking for the business. I just recently went to a David Meltzer business conference, if you will. Actually, it was more like a mastermind, right, at SoFi Stadium. And one of the things that David Meltzer did, if you don't know who he is, Google David Meltzer, right? One of the things that he did was he had us each stand up, and each of us had to stand up, and he said, okay, so what's your big ask? What is it that you want to ask of the group and of all the 20 or 30, 6, 7, 8-figure entrepreneurs and legends that were there. He says, what is your big ask? And each one person had to get up and they each had to ask, right, for what it was that they were expecting to get from the group. What did they want to walk away with? Did they want to walk away with clients? Did they want to walk away with business? Did they want to walk away with podcast invites? Did they want to walk away with, investment opportunities? What are you here for, and what is your one big ask? What can you ask of the group? And let's see if the group can somehow reciprocate that and give that to you. And, I'll tell you, even I was intimidated being in that mastermind group and being around those 7-figure, 8-figure, 9-figure entrepreneurs, and thinking to myself, man, what's my one big ask? What can I ask of them? And so I'm gonna put that on you as well. And I'm not gonna share what my one big ask was then, because it's changing and it's getting better. But your one big ask now is going to be, to all my friends and family, I am now a real estate investor. I'm looking for homes that I can purchase. I'm looking for homes that I can add value to. So if you have any friends or family that have a house that is too big for them, that has too many repairs for them, and it's something that they no longer want, please refer them over to me. Give them my number or let me have their number and I will reach out to them as well. I hope I can count on you. I need your help. Now, you see what you just did? You now are asking, that's your ask. You're asking for them to help you. Now, what you do with that help is going to be entirely up to you. We'll do a whole nother training on how you can start to condition friends and family members to consistently give you referrals to other business, and not only friends and family members, but agents and all types of other people. But you have to get good at being more vocal. So on your way to getting your first deal, you got to be loud. You got to be loud. You have to make sure that you go for the ask. And what your ask is, I'm asking you to bring all those opportunities to me. Any of those houses that might be fix and flip opportunities, that might make good rentals, houses that I can add value to. If they're too ugly or too many repairs, bring them to me. I'll take care of you. And you let them know. All right? Next slide. Not negotiating harder. This is another thing that a lot of newbies and new people or noobs, I'm trying to use lingo. Anyway, you need to negotiate better. All right. So for those of you who are brand new, you need to negotiate better. When you're brand new, and I've been brand new, I know what it's like. You just get so excited about the possibility of getting a deal under contract. You just want a deal that you go out there and you're willing to make an offer. And even if you make an offer that's even $1,000 under what a seller is asking, in your mind, that's still a win because you're making progress. And it is. Right? It is. It's a learning experience. And so you make the seller an offer. Seller accepts your offer, even if it's $1,000 less. You then have it under contract. And then, what do you do next? You go try to sell it, and then it doesn't sell, right? Why? Because you didn't get it at the price that is going to cause it to sell, or at a price that is attractive enough for an investor. Okay, so you have to get better at negotiating your deals. You have to get better at negotiating these opportunities that you're putting under contract. The only way to get better at doing that, number one, is through experience, right? Which means you're going to have to go through making a lot of offers. But number two, you should get a JV partner or a mentorship partner. Okay, a mentor. You need that. You need someone who has more experience than you that can help you negotiate a better price. Yeah, it's going to take you a lot longer doing it on your own, or worse yet, not only is it going to take you a lot longer, you'll be in and out of the business before you know what happens because you've just decided that it doesn't work. Whereas if you have a JV partner or a mentor helping you negotiate, it just makes it easier on you. You earn as you learn, okay? Now, for those of you who are tuning in, we have a mentorship profit sharing program within our organization as well. So if you're interested in learning more about that, you can go to start.dispodragons.com, start.dispodragons.com, and it's basically where you have a mentor on call who will be available to help you close your deal. They'll help you go through all the contracts. They'll help you go through your leads. They'll help you negotiate your price. They'll help you find a buyer. They'll help you go through the entire process, and you get paid on your deal, right? It's called a profit sharing mentorship program that we have through our Dispo Dragons organization. So again, start.dispodragons.com. If you are a veteran closer, if you're a mentor, you've mentored other people and you're good at closing leads, you're good at negotiating, send me a DM, reach out to me, because we're always looking for additional mentors that we can assign to our mentees, to the people that are brand new that need help, right? There's no way, even if I wanted to, could I capture all of the business that's out there, or could I mentor every single person that reaches out to me? And so this way, if we have some veteran closers, some veteran mentors that want to be a part of this, I'd love to have a chance to talk to you, and we could talk about that a little bit further, okay? But the fifth thing that you need to know is how to negotiate harder. You have to negotiate better, and one of the best ways to learn how to negotiate better is by having a JV partner or a mentor that can walk you through the entire process, and you get paid while you do it. Why not? They're helping you close and you get paid. It's great, okay? All right, so if you guys have any additional topics that you would like to have covered, please, couple things. Number one, subscribe to the channel. Okay, if you're watching us on YouTube, if you're watching us on Instagram live right now, give us a follow. Okay. Number three, I always have to make sure that I do this, because if I don't do it, nobody's going to do it for me. I wrote the book, Deal Like a Dove, Dispo Like a Dragon. For some reason, it comes up as gray on the live stream, and I think it's because of the green screen, but whatever. So Deal Like a Dove, Dispo Like a Dragon. It's 400 pages of how to build this business. It's not a 25-page PDF. It's not a 20-page manual. It is straight up how to build this business. If you get the book and you order it on Amazon, Deal Like a Dove, Dispo Like a Dragon, send me a picture of yourself holding the book, or tag us, do a quick, share the image on social media, tag us on social media, and I will send you a free coupon code for an Audible download so that you can get the Audible version for free. If you are more of an auditory listener and you don't want to really read the book, but you prefer the Audible version, more power to you. It's available on Audible. You can download it on Audible. Deal Like a Dove, Dispo Like a Dragon. It was narrated by Tim Alexander. Sorry about that. Tim Alexander, young up-and-coming voice actor. He did a phenomenal job narrating the book for me. Next book, maybe I'll do the narration, but for now, thank you, Tim. You did wonderful. If you guys have any other topics that you'd like covered, again, please DM me. If you're interested in being a mentor in our profit-sharing mentorship program, send me a DM. If you're interested in being a mentee, right? You need someone to JV or to mentor you throughout the process, go to start.dispodragons.com, startdispodragons.com. We'll talk soon, everybody. Have a great day.